All right, let's get right into it. The end of part 1 leaves us with that absolutely monumental sovereign beings diatribe. And this is so much more than just a powerful speech. It's the moment the entire story pivots. So today, we are going to break down exactly how this one dialogue creates one of the most incredible cliffhangers I've seen in a long time.
This quote, man, it just nails it, doesn't it? It's the perfect metaphor for everything we're about to discuss. This is that moment of escape, that feeling of finally being free. But it's also the exact moment the real danger begins. Wotan has left the familiar world behind, and now he's staring down a storm that is every bit as vast and as powerful as he is.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with Wotan's big transformation, then look at his terrifying new rival. After that, we'll dive into Mephistopheles' new role in all this, uncover the heavy price of Wotan's freedom, and then bring it all home, back to that Voyager sailing headfirst into an unknown storm.
Right, first up, from escape to sovereignty. You gotta understand, this dialogue isn't just a bunch of words. It's the point where a philosophical debate becomes a very real and very, very dangerous conflict.
You see, all through part 1, this cosmic wager was basically a thought experiment, right? Could Wotan actually rise above humanity? It was all theoretical. But with this diatribe, that question gets a definitive answer. The wager isn't an idea anymore, it has just exploded into a real three-way showdown. And this slide just captures that shift perfectly. On the left, you've got the old Wotan, a guy who was totally defined by what he was running from. The herd, their petty little wars. But after the diatribe, he becomes proactive. His sovereignty isn't a reaction to anyone else anymore. It's this internal, self-sustaining force. He's literally become his own law. Okay, so let's see where this new power takes him. And it leads straight to the Faustian mirror. Because with this kind of sovereignty comes a new, and honestly, a far more terrifying kind of enemy.
So, who is this new opponent? Well, he's not just another human Wotan can just step over. No way. This is Faustus, the Faustian Übermensch, a being of pure negation, who's been reforged with godlike strength for one reason, to be a perfect dark mirror of Wotan himself.
And this sets up an absolutely incredible dynamic. You've got Wotan, who is the embodiment of the will to power, and then you have Faustus, its twisted, distorted reflection. Wotan is a being without limits, but now he's facing an equal who is bound by a contract of pure, unrelenting destruction. The rules of the game have just been completely rewritten. And this leaves us with a central question for the next arc, and it frames the whole thing as this kind of cosmic horror. I mean, seriously, how does infinite potential fight its exact opposite? An entity whose entire existence is dedicated to negation. There is no easy answer to that.
Of course, this brings us to the third player in this new cosmic chess match, Mephistopheles. And let me tell you, he is no longer just watching from the wings.
Before all this, Mephistopheles was that slick, cynical observer, right? Just placing a bet on Wotan's eventual downfall. But now, he's an empowered Tempter. He's not just hoping Wotan fails anymore. He is actively and strategically engineering that failure. His whole strategy is laid out right here. He goes from being a passive observer to tapping into ancient legends for real power, to empowering Faustus, and then finally, to building this incredibly sophisticated, metaphysical trap. This is a master strategist at work.
So, here's the bottom line, the thing you really need to get. Wotan is no longer just fighting against the weakness of the herd. He is now facing that exact same slave morality, but it's been weaponized by a master tempter into a god-sized cage designed specifically to contain him. The threat level is just off the charts.
And all of this, it leads us to the price of Wotan's so-called freedom, because his declaration of sovereignty comes with some truly haunting implications for whatever comes next. This is it, the climax of the entire diatribe. Thus I will, the eternal recurrence of life. He isn't just accepting his fate, he is actively willing it. He's choosing to repeat his struggle, his isolation, his terrible freedom, forever. And this just throws this huge, profound question onto his whole journey. Is he actually getting somewhere, making progress, or is he now just trapped in an endless loop of confrontation? His greatest challenge might not be some external enemy, but just sustaining his will through this exhausting, infinite repetition. Then there's the second major problem, the state of his new kingdom. I mean, he did it. He became the meaning of the earth. He rejected the heavens, but the earth he's left with is this desolate, gray wasteland. What's the point of being the meaning of a world that has nothing left in it?
Which forces us to ask, what's next? Does he try to build something new from the ashes, some kind of new, harsh Olympus? Or is his glorious isolation just the beginning of him reigning over a silent, empty planet, a victory that might actually be a total loss?
And so that brings us full circle, right back to where we started, that lone voyager sailing straight into the storm. This is the absolute point of no return. Wotan has left the land of the herd behind for good. He's cleared those coastal reefs, but what's waiting for him out there is an ocean of cosmic storms with no port in sight. The finality of this moment is just staggering. So, I'll leave you with the one question that really defines this entire cliffhanger. Has he truly done it? Has he achieved ultimate freedom and become a sovereign being? Or has he, in his desperate attempt to escape one cage, simply locked himself inside a much larger and infinitely more terrifying one? I guess we'll just have to wait for part 2 to find out.